Good evening.
Hey, Jean.
How are ya?
I'm doing
I may not stay for the whole meeting because I just got in from the hospital today.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're doing well, Jean. Glad you made it
Thank
through.
you. A lot of prayers, that's for sure.
Atta girl.
Yeah. I'll mute myself in a minute when everybody else gets on.
Okay, can you hear? Can you hear me, Laura?
Yep.
Okay,
I can hear you, bro.
Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make you a co-host, so you can share your.
Look at this
screen.
stream of light here.
There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Great. So
Hi, Lori.
that's Jean saying
Hi,
hi,
everybody.
Lori.
Jean, you take it easy now.
I am. I'm just sitting here relaxing.
Good girl.
My girlfriend's looking after me for a few days.
Oh, you have good people in your life, Jeannie.
I certainly do.
Oh, that's good to see, Jeannie. We're glad to see that you've come through and you're at home and you have time to heal, and you certainly have the right tools to help you heal. There's no question about that.
And sure. I wore the patches all the time I'm in the hospital.
Good for you.
I wore my immunity patch and I wore my pain patch. Yeah.
Good for you. That's awesome. How are you feeling, Jeannie?
On the whole, pretty good. I've got a little bit of abdomen pain, but other than that, I'm okay.
Other than that, you're okay, eh? Great.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get started.
I have a hard time. Yeah.
Good. Sorry, Jean, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say I have a hard time getting up and down out of a chair, but other than that, I'm okay.
Great. Well, we're glad to see you're here, and we're glad to see that shows some real tenacity to be on this call, and for a woman of your young age, we're happy to have you here. So,
thank you.
So, anyways,
thank you.
if I could ask you just to mute now, Jeannie, then we'll get this training underway. So, welcome everybody. I'm so glad that everybody's on this call tonight, and I'm absolutely delighted to have my big wiser sister with me today. We are coming to you live from Lac Windy in Témiscamingue, Quebec, and it is just dark now, at about 25 to 9 now. We know that summer is slipping away, but she actually came up to help me chop some wood this weekend, and we've had a great time so far. And she spent most of the day tweaking her training, and I think you guys are gonna, be inspired, to say the least. And I think also you're gonna learn a little bit about how important wearing the tech on a regular basis, and how making Wearable Neurotech a lifestyle really will prove positive for you and any of your customers. So just a little introduction to my sister. We're for those of you that are new on this call, my sister and I are partnered together in this Fox Life journey, along with so many of you that we consider family and consider partners. Great to see so many familiar faces on here. And we started from day one, from ground zero. And we're delighted. It's been just over 4 years now. We're absolutely delighted and grateful to be here. Has it been easy? No, it's been damn hard. If you want to know the truth, it's been tough. But has it been gratifying? Absolutely. On a personal level, it's been absolutely amazing to be able to do the things that I can do with, my sleeve and, with my tech on and so on. It's given me a lifestyle that I never dreamt possible at almost 60 years old. And knowing the struggles that my sister has been through, this, I believe, was something profound, and was something that we were led to be part of. And so we're very, very grateful for that. And I'm very, very grateful to introduce my lovely sister, who some of you may know, and if you don't know her, please get to know her. She's an awesome, awesome gal. So without further ado, my sister, Lori Fergus Dawson. Take it away, Laura.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Just bear with me. Yay. That just took one try. Hi, everybody.
You're not
Terry,
sharing.
thank you. You
You're not
flatter
sharing.
me. You make me feel so good about myself.
Your screen
Huh?
shared yet.
Oh, come on. Take that back then. Okay, hold on, hold on. I'm gonna try this,
There you go.
and then I'm gonna try this. How's that?
Well, we can see your screen now. We just can't see. There you go.
Hi, everybody. This is me in my lumberjack plaid. Okay, tonight I'm gonna talk and talk and talk. We're gonna talk about how Vox Life and living the wearable neurotech lifestyle has made me better, and how it can make all of us better. I'm thinking from the standpoint of both health and also from the standpoint of character. You know what? I like me better than I liked me without wearable neurotech. So I hope you'll find something of value in this tonight, everybody. Thanks for being here. And thanks for listening to what I have to say. And if some of it resonates with you, great. And I hope some of it will, because we're all just people trying to get through life and be our best selves. So let's get started. What I'm going to present tonight is my personal perspective as someone involved in the early days of launching Vox Life as a network or referral marketing company. And believe me, I didn't know anything about it. I know a little bit more than I did, but I think this is an exceptional network marketing company. And the reason I say that is because the culture is so different to others that I've heard about, we'll say. I think our culture, our strength is our team and our people and our relationships. And so that's really what I'm excited to be a part of, is the fact that we are helping people be and do better, but we're doing it as a team and as a unit, and we're doing it almost like a family. It's kind of like how a family operates. So it really was a great fit for me in that sense. So the title of this share came out of our conversations with teammates, and we were discussing what our takeaways were over the last 4 years. And I have conversations with teammates who have become very special friends to me quite regularly. And you know, everybody has something to bring to the table, and everybody has benefited from Vox Life in one way or another. And it's not really a linear thing sometimes. It's we benefit in many ways, and oftentimes we benefit in ways that we never expected we would. So one of the ways that I've benefited is I probably would never have learned PowerPoint if I didn't have a presentation to make tonight. So, and that's been fun. That's been fun just to stimulate the brain, because my brain was very understimulated, as you'll learn as I go through some of these slides tonight. So my meltdown, I'll call it, my mental health challenges in my 50s were kind of my mess became my message opportunity. And so many of you have probably heard my story. And so I'll lightly touch on it so that people who haven't will kind of have some idea of why this neurotech means so much to me. And that actually started in and around 2011 or so. And then Vox Life entered the picture in about 2015. So tonight I want to share some things, some blessings that have come of my experience with Vox Life. And I just want this to be like a kitchen table talk, if you will. I'm sitting at the kitchen table in the kitchen at Windy Lake, and that's one of the blessings to be able to come up here in the fact that we work for ourselves and we have internet up here. So thank you for being here, and thank you all for the way that you contribute to the betterment of people's lives. And to be honest, this is where it starts and finishes for me. I'm grateful that you know, there's a means of income through this opportunity, but the bigger thing for me is, wow, the impact that Vox Life has on people's lives, their health, and then just all aspects. So with Vox Life as the context, my life has proven that this wearable neurotech lifestyle is nothing but positive. These products and this endeavor have healed me in all the ways that I believe are relevant to living well. And everyone has heard or read the mantra to live well and laugh often and love much. And it turns out that's what I'm doing. So for me, this has been about a lifestyle as it relates to mental health. And it's a little bit difficult for me to talk about it sometimes because it was a scary time. I couldn't read words on a page, and it was not so much depression, although it was called that. It was a diagnosis of psychotic depression. So psychotic depression is where you're either, you know, having auditory hallucinations or visual hallucinations. And so I share that detail to say it wasn't just sort of a run-of-the-mill depression. I felt sad. No, I was not me. Felt, I have to say, like my body had been taken over. And it was the result of, you know, what happens when ladies age. And then it also had to do with stressors I was living with in that time. So the impact of mental unwellness can have a devastating effect because it is so misunderstood. And so we have to bear in mind that, you know, our tech impacts the brain, and that's what was off kilter for me, and is obviously, as we learn more and more, what is off kilter with so many of us who have battled mental unwellness, depression, anxiety, PTSD. And we have all kinds of stories where people have had positive outcomes using our tech with these conditions. So I want to just make the qualifying statement that, you know, it's not just mental illness that our tech helps with, obviously, but it was what it helped me with that many years ago, and continues to help in all kinds of ways. Like, I have to say today, it was like probably start to finish 3 hours of like slave labor, Terry, woodworking, cutting, loading. And you know what? I kept up, and I'm proud to say that. Pat Grass, that one's for you. I did my physical work today. So another little thing we're going to touch on tonight is maybe how living with the right attitude and having the right thought patterns and self-talk can enhance us both professionally and personally. And that's a place I had to get to. So let me just move this over. I can't see my own notes. In my case, like I say, I had, you know, the mental health challenges, and I was hospitalized, and it was a situation of panic, morning, noon, and night. Like someone was in the house, and I was a little girl hiding in the closet. And why this bears repeating is because how I was able to cope during that time was I had to have comfortable feet. I had to have every light in the house on to spark my brain. And I had to have comfortable feet. And my memory of those times was, you know, a big part of my day was spent massaging my feet. And I didn't really know why that made me feel better, but it just did. And so fast forward to 2015 from 2012, and Jay and Kevin and Terry and I ended up together. Not really by plan, but by some providential plan, I now believe. And so learning about the neural points in the feet and in the brainstem really resonated with me. And I just was not somebody who knew very many athletes. And even if I did, they weren't going to be listening to me. So my application for the tech right away was, you know, my own personal issues, but also for the seniors who were coming to my home, because I do a little thing called energy medicine. And some of you know what that is. And I had seniors coming for treatments, and they were kind of tippy walking up, you know, my front steps. And so, so balance was absolutely something to be acquired for these seniors. And, you know, certainly, you know, within, you know, seconds of wearing the tech, and then, you know, the subsequent days, all the seniors that we were field testing with the tech had remarkable improvements to their balance. And so without a doubt, this tech has brought me back into balance, and it keeps me there now. So over the last 5 years, I would say that I have become more physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually healthy at 60 than I was in my early 50s. And this is thanks in no small part to our tech and what the tech does to enhance the other modalities that I make use of. I make sure that I manage stress better than I was back in those days. And the tech allows me to make healthier lifestyle choices. And what I mean by that is, like, just to be physically active and to be able to move as we age is critical for our health. So, you know, I won't be without the tech just because it just makes me a better version of me. And it's all sourced in giving us a better brain. And that in turn gives us an edge. So I really like when Kevin Dugay presents and he puts up this disclaimer. I think it's important because we don't need to have people misunderstand what it is that we're able to offer people with the tech. And we sure don't need any hassles with the government saying we're making claims that we're not. The information presented today is not intended to diagnose, treat, prevent, or cure any disease or condition, and is not intended to substitute for the advice, treatment, or diagnosis of a medical professional. Thanks, Kev. Okay, so as I share some insights tonight, I'd like to put this challenge to my respected and appreciated teammates and now friends, many of you, to just reflect on your own life and do this on your own time, and just consider taking your turn as a presenter. We love getting to know all of you, and we have gotten to know so many of you. And so, you know, a big shout out of thanks and massive gratitude for all those people who have gone before me doing this talking in front of people thing. Do you see my blood pressure? Like, this stuff scares me. Anyways, my point is we can all learn from each other, and facing our fears is a good thing. Like, so many of my recent growth, so much of my recent growth is due to being involved in this business and just being having a sense of obligation to my teammates. And so I'm throwing that out there to you. Just talk to us, tell us about your experiences, and then we'll fill the docket for future trainings. In a world that is swiftly changing in so many ways, our thoughts, our feelings, our beliefs, and our faith will either carry us through or cause collapse on one or multiple levels. And I think that reviewing the basics on occasion is valuable, because it's just really wise to check your foundations. And the only thing that qualifies me to chat to you about this stuff tonight is that I was dysfunctional. And it was a full year, and I battled back, and I had lots of help, and I took baby steps, and now I'm healthy and fulfilled and content. And that's a big statement to be able to make, you know, in these times, like these times of uncertainty. But Terry and I have purpose, we have ambition, we have joy, and we have faith that every aspect of life and living has meaning. And it's mostly found in our relationships with the people that we have come to know and love. So I believe that, and this is just my sentiments, folks, like you take it for what it's worth. We're at our best when we're being mindful or present with people. And we should always self-monitor before speaking or acting. And we should always respect another person's reality. And when I say living the Vox Wearable Neurotech lifestyle is a positive one, these are areas where I really lacked in looking back at how I behaved as a younger version of myself. And, you know, being involved in this endeavor has brought all these things to the forefront for me and taught me that mindfulness is really important. And I don't have to agree with every person I come across, and the business makes for us meeting a lot of people. But it just means that, you know, it's time in history where we have to just do unto others as we would have done unto ourselves. And when you see the crazy CNN coverage of Black Lives Matter and that sort of thing, let's just do what we can to help people. We have a technology that can do that. And let's just be where they're at to be able to truly help them, both physically and mentally, and make an attempt to understand the nature of their problem and let them talk to you. I think that's what's lacking in our society. Relationships are something people are really craving, authentic relationships, and we have a vehicle for that with our tech. So whether that's an online conversation, because we definitely do have to rework some things given the fact that we're not doing vendor events and as much one-on-one. But I think the crux of the matter is just let people know you care. And that often happens with just letting them talk. So frame your responses sensitively and let them know what we have is a possible solution. But the long and the short of it is build trust through relationships. And it doesn't mean you have to go to each other's houses for Christmas or anything like that, but you know what I'm talking about. Like, just let them see you as a human being who cares about what matters to them. And here's another little thing that I've learned from myself is not to talk myself out of a positive perspective, but rather talk positive to myself. And I learned this from a teammate. Krista Taylor is who I have to thank for this. Krista called me on saying all the time, oh, you know, that's not my strength or whatever. And she said she wanted me to start framing that comment like this: I'm getting more comfortable and competent at speaking in front of people because I'm accepting the opportunities I am given to do so. And practice makes progress. And if any of you are familiar with Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, love that series, you'll know what I mean when I say we have to sharpen our saw. And I appreciate your comments, Tracy Lalonde, about sawing logs tonight. That was funny. We regularly have to sharpen our saws, and we do this through doing the work of sharpening our saws. So don't shy away from things that you think you're not good at, because I'm doing that right now. Another teammate, Laura Armstrong, uses the phrase, we are all stepping into our greatness. And I love that as well. Believe it. Believe it. It can apply to every single one of us if we will embrace it and take action. So count yourself down and get at that thing that scares you. And, you know, I can't even count the amount of teammates in Vox Life that have supported me in in doing something that doesn't come easy. But you know what? It's really important to share your insights and learn and grow. And I think this business is as much about that as it is about helping people with their health and wellness. So here's the thing: don't feel as though you have to convince everyone. The efficacy of our product is what it is. We know from the brain maps, and they have the option of, getting a better brain function or not, but it's their choice to make. So we're people who have had a Vox Life product experience, and so we don't have to defend that, because there is no way of us convincing someone of our reality necessarily. So just throw it out there and let them do their own investigating and facilitate that. And they have to be convinced of the efficacy of the product and that it's worth them spending the money. Our responsibility is to make sure they wear the products compliantly, because we want them to get the best results, and we want them ultimately to live a wearable neurotech lifestyle as well. So these things take time, is I guess what I'm saying, and some people need to be dripped on. And I just remember Terry saying, when we were driving home from that very first encounter with Jay and with Kevin, saying, I think we should cannonball into this. And and I smiled, and I think it was a good decision, but I have to say that I haven't met, everybody's not a cannonballer, put it that way. I think we need to be honest with ourselves about what our strengths and our weaknesses are, because then we can go to work. We can apply our strengths to our businesses and our sharing, and we can strengthen our weaknesses. And I personally have. There's just a plethora of self-help material out there, both online and in written format. And just, I feel like I'm a better human based on my relationships with my teammates. And I keep going back to this, but wow, I mean, there are some quality people in our field, and we need to avail ourselves of the strengths that they offer to us. Iron sharpens iron is kind of the concept, I guess. I have to say that I had to do some personal inventory around what I needed to admit to myself, what I needed to let go of mentally and emotionally, and what new thought patterns I had to adopt. And now I do this on a regular basis, and it gets easier. I'm not as fragile a person as I used to be, and I have this business to thank for that. And I'm not suggesting that we become self-absorbed, because that puts people off, and I think it's counterintuitive. But what I am saying is we should be our own health and wellness advocates, and especially now, and especially with access to information like we have, and do regular personal inventory. So being self-considerate is okay, and there are better ways than others to balance work and life commitments. But more than anything, I have to say that Terry and I, while he said it's been hard work, and yes, it has, hard work is gratifying, and it's been an amazing thing, this Vox Life. I think it's really important as we go out and live our best wearable neurotech life, that we remember that we don't have the only solution to all of the health and wellness challenges that are out there. Our tech addresses health challenges at the rudimentary or neurological level, as Dr. Mark has explained to us many times. So we need to be careful not to make promises to people, but see ourselves as assisting them on their health and wellness journey as much as we can, and do it within your skill set. So oftentimes, if I have an idea and I think it might be beneficial tool to furthering the mission, I'll find somebody. Darlene Reimer is my regular go-to for a lot of things. And in particular, she's a champion videographer, and the UK recently asked to have her video interviews of the kids she interviewed last summer sent to them. So, and that's not something I'm good at, but certainly she is. And so, you know, there are some amazing stories coming out of the UK with kids who are progressing based on the sleeve and wearing the tech. And so, you know, providing them some tools to further that happening in the UK was just a smart thing to do. And I was really grateful to have Darlene's videos to offer them. So see ourselves as primarily sharers and helpers, but only to the degree that people are willing to help themselves. And really it's important for them to understand what's happening. And we say it a lot, but it bears repeating. Let's tell people that this product is a product that helps the body help itself. And so some of the responsibility is taken on by the actual candidates, so that they don't come back on us saying, well, you know, this didn't help me see better or walk faster or whatever it might be. It's going to, the tech is going to help the brain determine what needs attention first. And so we just have to frame our presentation in the best way possible so that people understand what it is that this tech actually does, and that it does this over time and where. And I think it's really important for us to watch for body language when we're chatting to people, because what we have is a gift and we don't want it depreciated. We want it respected, and we want it at the very least investigated by people that we're trying to help, because you can't push a rope, as my brother often says. It's just a really good thing to live happy. It's a really good thing to be grateful and to show it. And I'm speaking about this in a general sense. I'm saying there's always something positive to focus on, and we need to look for it, and we need to understand that people are drawn to grateful people, because grateful, happy people emit a frequency that is attractive, and a good attitude is infectious. I refer to it as wearing an invisible cloak of positivity, and that can keep us boundaried from negativity. But I do want to make a point here, and that is that problem solving where that's necessary shouldn't be thought of in a negative light. Terry and I have worked together in a family business and now in this business, and like it's pretty much our whole adult life. And he's just got such an amazing approach to challenge. And he often says that problems are needed for solutions to be thought of. And so we call that growth, and growth is positive. So just because a problem presents itself doesn't necessarily mean that that's a negative. And so, you know, just see it as an opportunity, I guess, is what I'm getting at. Here's what I like to do. I like to focus on what is meaningful and gives me purpose. And in doing so, it sees me through the times of struggle, because life is all about the ups and downs, right? And if there were no downs, we wouldn't feel the ups as intensely. So just remind yourself of what you're about and be about good things. And this family, this faith, this freedom list is what I'm about. And I really resonated with the 4 pillars of Ikigai, and I like to remind myself what they are every once in a while. I love what I do, and I'm getting better at doing it. And we definitely have something the world needs, and we're making money doing it, you know, to a lesser or greater degree for many of us. But If we're Vox Life missionaries, then we need to be willing to do the do in terms of sharing and witnessing to people, I guess is a way I could refer to it. I think it's good to work on our story and our experience with the tech. And I think that when we have a person interested in hearing about it, that we be really excited and enthusiastic about it. Because if you can elicit an emotional response from a person, there's just a greater possibility they will trust you. They will see you as sincere. And I don't know anybody more sincere than Kevin Duguay. Well, I want to be like Kevin when I grow up. That's the long and short of it. I'm saying, like, just don't grumble and don't mumble. But I'm also not saying, don't say anything, because again, problem solving has to happen. We're a young company and we're a little bit flying blind, but we're getting there, and we're most importantly making a difference in a whole lot of people's lives, and everybody involved is part of doing that. So we often read comments like, our thoughts and prayers are with you. And while I think that's lovely, and I don't mean to be critical whatsoever, I just think we need to mean these statements, and we need to not offer people token remarks, because, it gets easy to say. So here's a good prayer if you need one. I'm a prayer, make no apology for it. I'm certain this Serenity prayer is familiar to you, and it works for me. And I've applied it in this Vox Life experience many, many, many times. There are things we can't change. There are lots of things we can, and wisdom helps us know which is which. So for me, getting wisdom is number one. And the money comes after the wisdom as far as my life's testimony is concerned. It's absolutely needed. And I don't want to trivialize the concept of we've got to make money doing what we do, but how much is that figure is different for everybody. So, and one thing I like to do on a regular basis is consider, who or what is the source of my supply there. I think we just have to remember the basics. We got to work diligently and understand that we have a role in a bigger scheme of things. And the starfish story, I just absolutely love. The little boy on the beach who's tossing starfish after starfish back into the ocean. And an adult comes along and says to him, what are you doing? You can't save all the starfish. And he says, I know that, but I can save this one, as he throws the next one into the water. I think it's a good analogy for how we do Vox Life. And I think it's a better way of doing Vox Life, me personally anyway. The sponsor monster thing, I'm not so keen on, because I think we have to build trust. I think this tech and this company necessitates that. So very simple concept is just be and do the best that you can. Be patient, be consistent, be determined, and be content. Enjoy the journey and don't rush the process. We all have blessings to count as part of our to-do list. And I like to remember that a mission needs missionaries, and missionaries must understand that they have a contribution to make, but they don't have to do the whole job. Do what you can. And I like Jay's comment where that's concerned. Jay says, if we can, we must. And I do like that. I think that's a very good thing to apply to our lives. But take it from me and from my experience, we have to take care of our mental health, and we have to rest when it's time to do that. See, this is all just basic stuff. Be thoughtful of others. Empathy is a superpower. Cultivate relationships where you can, and seek balance. Not just physical balance, but emotional and spiritual and all that other stuff. Wisdom will win the day. And I know that because Vox Life has given me the opportunity to heal, to grow, to laugh, to love, to learn, and to earn. And I do all of this through the most important aspect of this business, in my estimation, and that's the relationships. So the relationships we now have with the people we know because we've adopted a wearable neurotech lifestyle are equally as important as the improvements to our health and wellness. And this choice to live a wearable neurotech lifestyle has proven positive. Just, you know, and everybody's version of positive is different, but I think we're all looking for health, and we're all looking for love, and we're all looking for that sense of gratification. And so, you know, at least this company and this endeavor offers us that opportunity. If we just keep our heads on straight, that's what I think is that's where I think the battle is. I think mindset is the battle. So don't forget to commend yourself for a job well done. I think we don't do that enough. And I think we need to be teachable, and we need to listen, and we need to have a little talk with ourselves when the voice in our head say, you know, that's bull. So yeah, there's a balance between, you know, I need to smarten up here and I did a great job there. And for sure, I love my husband Glenn's advice. He says, on life's journey, you have to absorb and discard. And by that, he means that some stuff resonates with us and some stuff just doesn't resonate. So, or compute. So absorb, discard, and keep going. We've got a big mission. Now, this is just a little something I threw in like right at the end, because I thought, whoa, I got to talk about educating ourselves and then educating people. So here are just some points that came to mind around that notion. Education's a big deal. I've always been a learner. My brother used to fool around with me getting on and off the school bus and thought it was a funny thing to push my plethora of books out of my arms. But I've always been a learner. And so this, you know, brain thing really fascinates me. But not everybody is up to speed where that's concerned. So we have to appreciate that. Our credibility is growing as our testimonials do. And our forward-thinking practitioners, my personal friend, Dr. Sylvia, was somebody who latched onto this really quickly. And the more of the practitioners who join us, the more credibility. And they deserve a big vote of thanks. But, you know, 2020 has proved the world to be very new and very in flux, and we don't really know what we're dealing with here, but it can work in our favor. And so we have to maybe just, you know, see it as an opportunity and be wise and careful in our handling of this gift. We're the pioneers on this journey of sharing the amazing benefits of our products, and our goal should be to create trust and belief in our tech and in us as the representatives of it. So there's no place for ego. We can't let it get the better of us. We can't be frustrated with people. We have to be better than sometimes the folks that are out there that give us a hard time around this. And not argue with them. We don't need to shame people. I mean, there's all kinds of back and forth about masks and no masks. And, you know, it's a difficult thing to navigate sometimes, but you can take your cues from people. And quite often people do the most talking with their body language. So we just need to understand that we have something special. We need to work as a team, and we need to get the product on people. And we have to ask ourselves, what do we want out of our efforts? Well, we want compliant and consistent wear. That's the best and really the only way to see long-term results. And we need to be a product of the product, and we need to update our story, because my story, you know, in the beginning was mental health. My story now is I just worked a good chunk of this day cutting, stacking, lifting, loading wood, and I'm 60, and I kept up to my big brother. So staying plugged in and keeping up to the latest information is a must. We've got all kinds of testimonials. There are tutorial videos, there are trainings, and there are teammates. We can lead you to water, but we can't make you drink. If you want to be a missionary sharing this tech, then nothing's stopping you. We've got to take on the job of doing that. And it's understood that people have commitments and that sort of thing. Just share to the best of your ability. The more we know about what we have, the better for the mission to help 1 billion people. And I think this is an important thing to remember. We're competing with the conventional medical approach to healthcare. And the people working in that sector participate in continuing ed regularly. So we need to do the same. We probably need to do more. It's a new frontier, but we have the tools. So we need to know ourselves, we need to know our strengths, and especially we need to reinforce our knowledge base. We need to know our limits too, and we need to take proper care of ourselves. And that's equally as important, because if we're sick people, we have no credibility. So we need to live a wearable neurotech lifestyle, but within that, we need to take care of our own health and wellness, and there's ways to do that. And we know them. That's not anything I need to say to you. So be your best self, and the mission and the people you say you want to help will benefit. And I just made a little note here about the 80-20 ratio. Krista Taylor and I were talking about it the other day, that 20% of the people do 80% of the work. So let's be part of that, making that 20% a bigger number. And I thank you all for being here tonight, and I thank you all for listening to me ramble on. And there we are. Thank you for an amazing 4 years, and all these different people are benefiting from our products. So let's go out and find some more people.
Thanks, sis. Awesome.
You're welcome.
So I think you have put it very eloquently that, wearing the wearable neurotech, as you put it, has become a lifestyle. It's something that you wear every day, and I can witness to that when I see you go right from working, loading wood on the trailer and so on, right to swimming in the lake with your socks still on. And because they gave you they gave you balance on the rocks and so on, and they make you swim faster and everything else. So it just becomes part of the lifestyle. So I'm just going to see if I'm just going to check and see if anybody has any questions. Let me just see here. A lot of very, very positive comments. So anyways, I'm very, very grateful. I'm grateful for your comeback and from a time that was very, very difficult in your life, and knowing how this wearable neurotech has really, really helped you in a lot of ways. Doing this call, if somebody had ever bet me 4 years ago that my sister would do a call like this, I would have said, you have lost your marbles, not a chance. And so wearable neurotech, allows us to do things that we never thought was possible. And so it's very, very important, that people are always looking for that instant gratification, that instant relief. And we do see that in some cases, but it's, the body needs time to heal. Now we can show through our lateral and dynamic stability assessment, we can show how, engaging the brainstem into homeostasis and opening up the central nervous system, how we can engage, our body to be better balanced and so on right away. But as far as, healing and keeping the brain in a position where the body is able to optimize, and it's not only its performance, but its healing, I've been able to witness as your brother. And so, for this, you know, I think all of us in the field need to know that as we present these products to people, that they have to understand in some cases this may not be a quick fix, but we have to be the practitioners here. We have to be the doctors, you know, so to speak. We have to say, here's the prescription. The prescription says wear it 24/7, right? So 24/7,
Yes.
wear it for, you know, 23, 24 days. Understand that, you know, during a healing crisis, there could be a slight increase in discomfort, and that if that happens, take the tech off. And then once the symptoms calm down, put it right back on. But based on what we see at 99.9999999% of every human on the planet being affected with this technology, we as the soldiers in the field need to educate people and let them know that this may be a quick fix. It may work really quick, but it may not. It may take time. And so consistent wearing it. And if a doctor gives you a prescription and says, take 2 pills twice a day, do you take 1 pill once a day? No, you follow the prescription.
Yeah.
So give people the prescription. Let them know how they have to wear it, and that's what you did. And you're a riot, because today you got done swimming with your socks, you hung them on the line, and you put 1 black one on and 1 white one on. One was a mini crew and one was a no-show. It was perfect. So it's not a matter of, we're not trying to make fashion statements here. We're just trying to make sure that our brain stays in homeostasis. So bless you. Thank you for the training. And with that note, we've almost been an hour. I don't see any questions on here. So thank you all for being on the call. I will get the recording up. So if you have people on your team that that haven't you know, seen this or were able to get on this training, then I will have it up very, very quickly. So I'm going to unmute everybody, or you can unmute yourself and say good night. We're all here. Thanks for being on. And until 2 weeks, make sure you're on the call next Monday, where Krista Taylor and Paul Austin bring you real people, real results, testimonials of real people getting real results with this amazing technology. So thank you, Lori, on behalf
We're
of
working
you.
on
Good night.
Good night, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you so
Some
much.
more.
Good night.
Thank you,
Bye.
Lori.
Good night. Bless
Sorry.
you.
Night, Edna.
Edna.
Thanks for being on the call.
Great job, Laurie.
Thank you, Lori.
Good
Your
job.
turn's coming. Thank you. Bye.
Love your hair.